Welcome to FCP Conversations Online, featuring Bucks County nonprofit leaders. Join our discussion with community organizations that share our mission and are making a difference in the lives of our neighbors.
Hello, I'm Ron Bernstein, the Executive Director of Foundation's Community Partnership. Welcome to FCP Conversations Online, and thank you for joining us. Our guest today is Kelly Harris, the Chief Executive Officer of the Cancer Support Community of Greater Philadelphia, known locally here in Bucks County as Gildas Club. Kelly, welcome and thanks for being with us.
Hi, Ron. Good morning. Thank you.
A lot of people here in Bucks County know about Gildas Club or have heard about Gildas Club, but when we look at your official letters and communications, it's the Cancer Support Network of Philadelphia. So explain that to us.
Sure. So Gildas Club was started locally back in the late 1990s by a group of local volunteers who wanted to make sure that families living in the area had access to a program of support that would help them through their cancer diagnosis and beyond. So we opened officially in Warminster in 2003, and back in 2013, we spoke with the Cancer Support Community of Philadelphia and found that we were serving the same service area and began conversations about merging our services so that we could provide services to the entire greater Delaware Valley area.
So just so people know, the name Gildas Club, what does that beckon back to?
So Gildas Club is named for the late Gilda Radner, who died of ovarian cancer back in the late 80s. At the time, she was married to the late actor Gene Wilder and had asked him when she passed if he would work to develop a place where people could receive support such as she received when she was going through a cancer diagnosis.
Well, when we talk about the kinds of programs and services that you provide, can you explain that a little bit more in depth?
I can. We provide a multi-level program that includes several different pieces. We know that for people going through a cancer diagnosis, support is really important, social and emotional support. So we provide opportunities for people to meet with other people from the community going through a cancer diagnosis. These groups are led by licensed mental health professionals, and it gives them an opportunity to share their concerns, their anxieties, network, share information, and just meet with other people who have that same experience. Beyond that, we work with local hospitals and cancer centers to provide education from practitioners that come out to our various locations. They come and speak about things such as side effects of chemotherapy, side effects of radiation. They may talk about ways to develop healthy nutrition when you're going through a cancer diagnosis. Or financial issues. You know, in today's world, there are so many issues when someone is facing a serious illness that they have to deal with, that we really try and provide a comprehensive program. And much of what we provide, we base on what people ask us for.
What's the age range of people that you guys serve?
Really from 3 to 93. So our children's program is something that's also very vital to our services. We provide a full program of support for children and teens, ranging from toddler age up to and including young adults with cancer. So through sixth grade, we have a curriculum-based program called Kid Support, which gives kids opportunities to talk about their fears or anxieties, whether they're the person with cancer or whether their family member is the person with cancer. We know that for teens, that experience is a little bit different because of where they are developmentally. So we have a teen support group where teens can get together and talk about that as well. And for teens, we found that really it's been very helpful to go into the schools.
So some of the services, certainly for the children and the teens, they themselves may not have cancer.
Correct.
But they may have a mom or a dad or another close relative that is going through it, and you still feel, your organization feels that they need support also.
Absolutely. We serve children and teens who both have cancer and who have a family member with cancer.
And then what about the caregivers? Tell me how you work with the caregivers and what your thinking is about that.
So, it's interesting because that has been much more of a recent focus for us. Anyone that's been through a cancer diagnosis in their family knows how much work and care a person requires to get through that experience. And so what we recognized is we were seeing that caregivers were reporting to us that they were stressed, they were tired, they were burnout. So we really have expanded our program for caregivers to allow them to have the same opportunities as the person with cancer. So we have ongoing caregiver groups. We have educational programs specifically for caregivers, ways they can manage their stress, ways they can get resources that may not be apparent to them, and try and take the burden off them a little bit as far as trying to access all these types of things.
And who would you identify as caregivers? Who are the caregivers?
Well, that's a good question. I think in many families, the whole family is the caregiver. Certainly, I think the spouse can be the primary caregiver. I think that if it's a child who is dealing with cancer, it can be parents. But, what we've seen also is that in many families, the children help with caregiving because of the other parents need to work or just their availability. And so, we really try and provide services based on our knowledge of what those are.
Some of the patients that you guys deal with, some of the people you support, don't necessarily have a great ending.
Right.
What goes on after?
Yeah, and unfortunately, not everybody does survive their cancer experience. We have a couple options for people. For those that are bereaved, we provide short-term individual therapy with the goal of hopefully getting them into a bereavement support group. We don't want people to attend our program and then just not have contact with them after they lose whoever their person is in their family with cancer. So we have a very active program of individual therapy, as I said, and then bereavement groups. And we also provide for people, bereavement's a tough issue. So we provide both ongoing bereavement groups and we provide short-term kind of curriculum-based programs for those that are recently bereaved that kind of give people the opportunity to begin the bereavement process as far as maybe learning some educational pieces, how to settle estates and things like that. So we have several different options for those folks.
So all across the spectrum, from children to teens to adults, how do people learn about what's going on at Gildas Club, what kinds of programs you offer, and what's the intake process like?
So, we have a website and we have a Facebook page, so we use social media to reach out to people. We really try and reach out to all the local cancer centers and oncology offices across the Philadelphia area. Marketing, I think, for many nonprofits is a challenge, but we get a number of referrals from cancer centers and oncology offices.
Well, tell me where there are cancer centers here in Bucks County.
We actually have a location in Doylestown Hospital. We have a location in Abington Memorial Hospital. We have a location at Temple University Hospital, which is in North Philadelphia. But we've been in Doylestown Hospital for a number of years now so that people can reach us not just at our two main locations, but off-site as well.
So when you say a location at Doylestown Hospital, do you mean a specific office somewhere within the hospital?
We do. And we have a series of activities that mirrors the activities that we have at our larger locations. So people can attend support groups, lectures from doctors, yoga, tai chi, mindfulness programs. So when people come to us, we do sit down with them and talk with them not only about their cancer experience, but we talk about how our program can best benefit them and their family. We want to make sure that we don't lose people as they come in through our doors. So if we have a young woman who has young children and has breast cancer, we want to talk to her about our breast cancer programs. We want to talk to her about our programs for children and teens. We want to talk with her about a program that maybe her husband would want to attend, but also the educational pieces. So we really sit and work with each individual to tailor a program for them that makes the most sense, because people can participate as much or as little as they like, but we want it to make the most sense for them, and we want them to get the most out of it.
Well, Kelly, I've been to Gildas Club many times, as you know, and we've been fortunate to place an intern there during the summers. And I'm always fascinated by what's going on over in a building that you guys call Noogie Land.
Right.
So can you tell us about Noogie Land?
Sure. Noogie Land is our program for children and teens. We're very fortunate through support of organizations like yours that we're able to provide a summer camp every year. We do 3 weekly sessions. And, we really started doing this so that we could provide not only the kids with an opportunity to do something fun and to reduce their stress, but we also recognized that the parents were telling us that this was so incredibly helpful, that they could have a brief respite during the day, they could go to the grocery store, or maybe they even hang out with us at camp and hang out with other parents. So it's an opportunity for them to see parents that are going through the same situation. We provide breakfast, lunch, and a afternoon snack for these kids. That takes a huge burden off a lot of the parents during the summer weeks. And, like many organizations around the area, our capacity, we can't really meet the need due to our limited capacity, but we try and serve as many children as we can, and it's been a very successful program for us.
Well, where does Cancer Support get its funding from?
So as what I haven't mentioned is that all of these services are provided free of charge. We never ask anyone to pay to participate in our program, so we have a very full fundraising program. We do receive grants from some organizations. We do a lot of events to raise money. We work with individual donors, and we need to raise every single dime that we use to provide the program
so
to the
you
community.
Get no state or federal
We do not.
County contracts? Or
We do not.
So if people want to learn about how to donate or want to learn about some upcoming events where they can get involved, how do they find out about all those things?
The best place would really be to go to our website, which is www.cancersupportphiladelphia.org.
And what will they find there?
They'll find a list of our calendar activities. They'll find a list of upcoming fundraising events. They'll find our history. They'll find information about our staff and board and ways that they can become involved in various aspects of our program.
Wow, a lot going on at Gildas Club. I know you see patients and caregivers. Do you ever see them all together? Do you do any sort of group work with the particular person who has cancer and maybe their spouse or children collectively, or is everything done individually?
We have family days. Often the focus of those are fun, because we want to provide a place where families can come in and have a picnic, play some games, have fun, because even when you're going through a serious thing like cancer, sometimes it's nice to just take a break and relax. And sometimes it's hard to find time for that in the midst of trying to go through treatment and working with your family to get things done. So we do a number of free activities that are movie nights and picnics for kids and their families. And that's a therapeutic as well in its own way.
The Cancer Support Community of Greater Philadelphia here at Gildas Club, a fantastic organization doing fantastic work. Kelly, thank you for the great work you do in our Bucks County community. Thanks for joining me this morning, sharing your experience and knowledge, leading the organization, and thank you to our listeners for your involvement in our community. Visit our Facebook page and like us, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Join the conversation.
Foundation's community partnership believes that when we join forces, we're stronger. We are better able to support the behavioral health and human service needs of children and young adults in Bucks County. Join us again for FCP Conversations Online. Let's go farther together.